Still watching the buffalo. Buffalo still on the other side. Right where he was this morning. I think they sort of, three of them there, I think, maybe all four. I think they just, it's a sign for them to stay. Trying to give him some sort of message. Yeah, or 5 bulls now. It's could get interesting because if they see him, they might just want to chase him off. There's actually beautiful light. No, it's very similar to our scene this morning. This morning we were on the other side of the dam with him on that side where the buffalo are now, and the buffalo were on this side. But this morning we had morning light, so it was good for us this morning, and now it seems to be the same thing. Afternoon light, perfect. There's some dynamic going on there with these buffalo. That is a big bull. The one that has walked into the water. I think that's probably why the other three scattered, because he's clearly the main man of this little group of bulls. beautiful light on these buffalo. I guess if you don't move, the buffalo don't see you, because none of these buffalo have seen him. They must have been interacting with him at some time during the day, because they've come out of the area where he was lying up. And, well, there's not much he can do about it. He's a little bit too small, too inexperienced to try and take one out on his own. But also with 5 bulls, although 4 of them have moved up into the tree line now, leaving this big bull behind. I think this big bull is maybe a little bit too much, kind of like biting off more than you can chew. And with the cool temperatures now and the sun going down, wonderful that he's come out to lie out in the open like this for us. Buffaloes being irritated by flies. Oh, he looks like an old heavyweight boxer that's just been through a 15-round fight, that old bull buffalo. His right eye is completely closed. He's got a gash underneath his eye. He's probably been fighting, which is what makes him a little bit cantankerous, and of course that's possibly why the other 4 made way for him, because they don't want to get in his way. He's probably not in a very good mood at the moment. Of course he's vulnerable, seeing out of only one eye at the moment, but only to a pride of lion. It wouldn't be vulnerable to just a young male like this. This young male, almost at adulthood, he's probably about 4 years old. His nose is still a little bit pink, and at the age of 5 there's less pink and more black. It's more blotchy, and then of course by the time he's 6 years old he'll have a black nose, and there's still a few little pink spots on his nose that tell me that he's not quite 5 years old yet. Well, Debbie, hopefully that just answered your question about whether he would take on these buffalo. He's not likely to. Is it you or them doing it themselves? Oh. They are. They were both recording, just briefly, while I was playing with them. So not likely that he's going to go for one of these bulls. You know, with 5 bulls in well, not quite a bachelor herd, because they're not bachelors. They're old bulls. They're Duggar boys. They've passed their prime. They've done their bit for the buffalo community, and they now just want to have a bit of peace and quiet away from the herd. But if he were to do anything, they'd gang up on him, and his life would be in danger. And he knows that, so he's not even going to try and do anything. He is watching. There's something else behind us that he's keeping his eye on. That's looking directly into the sun. I can't see anything there. Okay, Linda in Hot Dallas. I think I've answered that question, Linda. I'm wanting to know his age. Somehow I must have anticipated that question, because I just mentioned. Probably in the region of 4, 4.5, maybe around there. He's older than 3. His mane is bigger than a 3-year-old, but his nose is still a little bit pink. And it tells me that he's not quite full grown yet. Someone somewhere will have the age of the cubs. He's got 2 sisters, and the 2 sisters and the mother, there are details about their history here at Thorny Bush. Lovely tree trunk there. Right, now I think if we're going to try and get to see this leopard, we need to start heading back to camp, because she's quite close to camp. It's quite a way to go. Any station coming up to Waxville Plan for Madodangala? At the moment he's lying next to the Marti. The Zanyaria moved off into the Shatine. Really nice light and nice visual at the moment. Okay, well I'll stick around until you're close, just in case he gets up and moves. Okay, copy, thanks. Hello, Shelley, Ontario, Canada. A few Canadian friends on board this afternoon. Shelley wanting to know what age he'd be interested, or what age he'd probably be forming his own pride. It's around about now that a young male would leave the pride. What makes things a little bit different under these circumstances is that there is no pride male. There is a big male that has been courting the females and has possibly been mating with I'm not even too sure who the father is of the cubs, because their father is different to the father of... Oh, no, sorry, wait. There are two sets of cubs in this pride, the Black Dam pride. Two different ages, two different fathers, but the fathers don't really know that the others have been sired by another father. So there isn't really a pride male. There is this other male that has come out of nowhere, and he's been chased by the females of the Black Dam pride. And so he hasn't had a father or fathers, coalition of males, to chase him off, because sometimes even as early as 3 years old they get chased off. He is now at this prime age for him to move on his own and to be nomadic for a couple of years. He's not old enough as yet to form his own pride, because essentially he would have to take over a territory of another male. He would have to challenge a male, or for that matter, a coalition of males. He isn't in a coalition. It would be difficult for him to challenge 2 or 3 males. But in the time that it takes from him from now, which is at about maybe 3.5, 4 years old, until his 5th or 6th birthday, it's this period of time that he has to become somewhat nomadic, has to be bounced around from pride to pride, or from pride male to pride male, having fights, having scraps, probably getting his butt kicked from time to time, to build up strength, to build up technique, and to become a big enough male that he can challenge an existing male for a territory. There are not very many places where he could just go and set up home, set up shop, as it were, and hope that females are going to join him to form a pride, because territories are pretty much back-to-back with lion in most cases, and it's not a case of being able to find a new territory for yourself. Normally what happens is you've got to move through other lions' territories, fight with them, and be pushed from pillar to post until such time as you can come back and oust them when they're getting a little bit older and a little bit decrepit, and then you can take over their territory and then establish a pride base of your own, normally by killing whatever cubs there are to induce estrus in the females so that you can sire your own cubs. He is possibly going to be moving around. Who knows? He might even have to leave Thorny Bush. There are 1 or 2 places that he can do that. And who knows where he's going to go. The whole point of us being here is to try and find something like this that is happening, a dynamic that is changing constantly. Every day there are new things happening. And he, if anything, is one of the ones to watch, because who knows? This could be that very moment when he's no longer being part of the pride, when he's moving out onto his own, on his own. The thing on his lips looking a lot better. Seems to be closing. It was a lot bigger than that when I first saw that gash. It is quite a gash. That's going to be a scar for the rest of his life. That's one of those scars that we'll identify him by, but it's also one of those, having received that scar, would have been in a fight that would have taught him some valuable lessons for the next time that he does come across a big male. Are you getting used to my voice, Koiki? Hope so. I want to spend quite a bit of time with you in the near future. Oh, Dove gave him a fright. You're not going to do very well against big male lions if a dove gives you a fright. Listening to something. Are you going to start calling again? Yawn and a stretch. You're going to get up and move. Yep. get as much. So that's why we're going to make smellies. He's going to start walking now, and we're going to possibly lose him. Look at that. Really in fantastic condition, this lion. He's lost all of that bloated belly that he had from eating the wildebeest a couple of days ago. Okay. Mark, yeah, go ahead. Yeah, he did get up, toileted. He's laid down again, a little bit away from the mighty, but he's still same spot on the western side of the dam. Ellen!